Good morning, Maureen and Angelina and Jenny and entire universe. Welcome to the MyTarot morning reflection, our daily inventory and chance to check in with the universe. So this morning, going through what cards am I going to use? And so yesterday I had used this deck, giving a reading to somebody, and it's funny because it just kind of reminded me when I did the reading. So it is the Crow Tarot. And oh, is it there it is, the Crow Tarot. So it's a fairly popular tarot, but it's the one deck. So somebody will be coming in and I'll ask them after talking to them a little bit, because I take about 10 a number of decks with me when I read, and I let my intuition decide which deck to use. And there's only one deck that gets a particular response. I ask people, how do you feel about crows? And I get some neutral responses, but I would say the majority of time the responses and people's feelings about crows, I'll hear anything from wishing they could tame one and putting shiny objects out and how you attract crows and crows can actually adopt you, to just all these other feelings. But you would not think that crows, with the general population, would express as much, enthusiasm. So I'll ask somebody, what's your feeling about crows? And they'll tell me generally, their feelings about them, and I will just take what they say, and if it's positive, I'll pull the deck out, and I just explain. It's like, well, good. Crows are messengers. Crows, they bring us gifts. They bring us messages. They're intelligent birds, and so that's why I do like this. When somebody is looking for a message, when somebody is trying to understand something, this is the deck that I'll pull out. But it's the one deck that will always get me some kind of a response. How do you feel about crows? And I was just thinking about that. I mean, I've done thousands of readings, but I'm trying to think of any other deck other than maybe the Alice deck, which will touch our nostalgia. So, what are we doing here today? We are doing the MyTarot morning reflection, our chance to just check in with the universe. Our chance to listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Chance to slow down. Chance to start our day in a different way. And I know that when I listen to the cards, it kind of flips my light switch. That's why I suggest if people do meditation, they ring a bell, they light a candle, they do some kind of a ritual that says, I am now going to shift gears and I'm going to go into a different mode. And so for me, I've learned with the shuffling of the cards, listening to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Just by saying that, I start getting ready, and then that's where, once we're ready, we can check in with where our feet are. Mine are flat on the floor, and I rotate my ankles, and gosh, that feels good. Then I do the kitty dance with my butt, make sure my hips are comfortable. Then my shoulders and chest, because that's where the heart is, that's where the breath is. That's where the cups are in the tarot, is right there in the chest. Then checking in with the neck and the head, which is air. Checking in with the swords in the tarot. And then feeling like we're actually ready to now maybe check in with the universe. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I am going to make our 3 stacks. each one a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one's a different thought or idea. And if we believe in a multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one path. This stack's a different path from this conversation. So the question is, which path do we want to take? And this morning, let's go with the bottom stack, or what I like to think of as things that are on the bottom, things that might be underneath that might be influencing us and we don't even realize it. So I'm going to do our 3 and 1. See, this is getting, did it start moving forward? Let me do something here. I think the table started shrinking. And I don't know why, but I can fix anything. There we go. So now we have our 3 and 1. So I'm going to flip each one over one at a time, like we're reading the pages of a book. And this morning we are starting with the 5 of Cups. So, and actually it's a very pretty card. It's a good representation. So we see a crow here. And this represents us, because sometimes things don't go our way. We lose stuff. People leave. Things happen. You know, we had plans. And then just like these cups, it's like somebody knocked over our cups and spilt our water. So what I always see when I see the 5 of Cups is I see how we stare sometimes so hard at what we've lost or what we don't have that we sometimes forget to have gratitude for what we do have. So 5s are always challenges in the tarot. Cups are our spirituality, our emotions, and our feelings. So that's what we connect this card with, is that sense of, and it's a minor card. So again, it doesn't need to be, you know, I've lost all these huge giant relationships. It could just be that sense or feeling of loss. It could just be by picking up the newspaper, like they do that nowadays, doom scrolling, and you feel that sense of loss. And sometimes it's hard to see the positive. So, but the crow's got its back to the 2 of Wands. So wands are our fire, our energy, and our passion. So when we see the 2 of Wands, 2s are about balance. 2s are about choices. You know, this is a reminder that just like this cup, there's this card, there's still 2 cups left. We can make choices of what we want to do next. You know, we're using the numerology. Ace is a seed, it's a 1. 2s are pretty far away from 10. And that's our goal, is to get to 10. But we're starting something. It's 2s didn't say that we're doing something and we're accomplishing anything. 2s are just saying, well, I'm going to make a choice with what I happen to have today. And then flying in a totally different direction. When I see 2s in the middle like this, I often see the choices that the 2 will give us. So here we have the crow facing to the left, which is the past, and not even seeing what they have. And then we have the crow that's flying to tomorrow. And that's the Chariot. And the Chariot is our decision to make a choice. The Chariot is our decision that says, regardless, this I can do at least. The Chariot is realizing there's a choice and just saying, I can stand here and stay where I'm at, or sometimes do the hardest thing in the world. I can move 1 foot, and that 1 foot could weigh 50 pounds. Or I could pick up my phone to call somebody and say, hey, you know what? I need to do something. I need to get out of my own head. That phone weighs 50 pounds, doesn't it? Yeah, I know we keep getting the chariot. But sometimes when we want to do something different, our foot can weigh that 50 pounds for the first step. The cell phone we're trying to pick up can weigh 50 pounds because it's an effort to do something different, especially when we are feeling a particular way. So, and that's what the chariot is reminding us today. The chariot is reminding us to acknowledge that each step is going to weigh about 50 pounds, but we can take those steps in a particular direction instead of just staring at our cups. So let's turn over the advice card. So how do we get past the 5s? Well, we move to the 6s. So ace is a seed. 2 is the choices that we make. 4s are four legs on a table. That's stability. And then ultimately, when things are going good, or where we think at least it's stable, life happens. Welcome to the Wheel of Fortune. We're up, we're down. Things are good, things happen. And that is the 5 of Cups. But if it's that hill, if we're trying to get over a hill and that 5 is the top to get to 10, we have to make it past the middle. And then that feeling we get when we're like, I think I can make it, I can make it. And we make it over the 5s. That is the relief of the 6s. So 6s are about harmony, improvement. 6s are about remembrance. Remember that sometimes we don't get over that 5 or that hill by ourselves. Sometimes we did pick up the phone. Sometimes we were able to do something for other people. But 6s reflect the positive effort of the world, of what we've done for ourselves and what we've done for others and what others have done for us. And all of a sudden we realize it's not just 2 cups, that we may have always had all the cups we needed. We just needed to turn around and see that. So today, when we are doom scrolling, or when somebody says something, or we have a concern at work or home, and we start looking at the shoulda, woulda, coulda, I wishes, then think about that 2 of Wands. Because the next thing, the next step after that is the chariot that says, turn around, pick up the 2 cups we do have, and see what we need to do next going forward. And again, the advice is looking at the positives instead of reflecting on the past. Look at the positives instead of reflecting on the past. Yeah, this is a great way to start the weekend, as a matter of fact. So, I hope everybody has that amazing, fantastic weekend. I hope you have an amazing day, because we only have today and this one moment here. So whether it is evening, morning, noon, wherever you happen to be, I hope that it is fantastic, and I will be back here again Monday. Thanks, everybody. Jenny, stay off your foot. Take care of yourself. We're thinking about you. Bye, everybody.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs. lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found in the shadows.